I spent 17 years in foster care. I attended 12 different schools. I lived in 12 different homes. When I lived with my mom, we were living in poverty. She had food stamps. When we didn't have any food, that's when we relied on food from the food bank. And so that looked like powdered milk, powdered mashed potatoes, even meat in the can. I have immense gratitude for going to school in Western Pennsylvania, K through 12. Public education gets a lot of scrutiny, but for me, I was able to gain crucial life skills that just frankly were not explicitly taught to me. Learning to brush my teeth, taking naps, eating healthily, sharing, and being explorative. The baseline levels of education available here are not available countrywide. And that was highlighted to me when I was a teacher in Texas and in Oklahoma. So I'm really grateful for that. My life changed at 16. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It is an incredibly expensive disease when in comparison to my peers who haven't had to spend money on chronic illness, they might have been able to save that money and get a down payment for a house or pay off their student loans. I ended up at the University of Pittsburgh for undergrad, where I have 2 degrees. I have a master's in education administration. The year that I graduated was the year that they allowed people who were in foster care to go to school for free. So I missed that. I knew that when I graduated, I needed a job that would provide me with health insurance. And I knew that teachers had health insurance. And so I taught 8th grade English, and I made $25,000. And then I escaped the classroom and coached teachers. And then they laid us off, about 400 of us. They gave us the axe. I lived off of my credit card last summer when I was laid off. And so anytime I had to pay for medicine, I just swiped that credit card and I had to just kind of disassociate. Fortunately, a few months later, I was able to get a job that has insurance. I supplement my income with additional jobs. I wish that I could just have one job and make enough money, but such is not the case. I do often think about how I feel that I have done everything right and it hasn't seemed to matter. Being a Black woman in America feels crazy. Because I am a Black woman who is living with a chronic illness and who has the disenfranchisement of being in the child welfare system for 17 years, it has slowed me down. I've made great investments in myself and in my life. At the same time, I have not seen the return on those investments yet. At its core, the American dream is just living your best life. And one of the ways that we can promote that for ourselves and others is through being inclusive of lived experiences. Intersectionality informs the reality of these systems. When we make things equitably, that is when we can get closer to having the American dream. That is when we get closer to everyone feeling liberated to be themselves.